Could it be the end of democracy as we know it? Elon Musk issues a shocking warning. In a statement that has left the entire world in a state of shock, Elon Musk has claimed that the 2024 presidential elections could be the last ones decided by American citizens. Why? According to the magnate, the reason is an influx of illegal immigrants who are being allowed to vote, which, according to him, could change the destiny of the United States forever. This comment not only shakes the foundations of politics, but also directly touches every citizen concerned about the future of their country. In a context where the integrity of the electoral system is more relevant than ever, Musk's words sound like an alarm that no one can ignore. What would happen if the elections no longer reflected the true will of the people? Elon Musk has stated that the 2024 presidential elections might be the last in which American citizens have the ability to decide the outcome. According to Musk, the main reason behind this concerning prediction is the increasing number of illegal immigrants who, he claims, are being allowed to vote. This situation, he argues, could irreversibly alter the future of the democratic system in the United States, putting its integrity at risk. The South African billionaire made his controversial comment on his own social platform, X, in response to a news report about the Republican Party's voting in the House of Representatives. His statement sparked significant controversy, highlighting the current political tension and the influence that social media can have on the public debate surrounding crucial decisions for the future of the United States. Despite strong opposition from the White House, Republicans successfully passed a controversial bill that requires the decennial census to include respondents' citizenship status. This move has sparked intense debate in Congress, with many arguing that it could have significant implications for political representation and the allocation of resources at the national level. The unanimous Democratic opposition to requiring citizenship for the distribution of seats and presidential electoral college votes says it all, Musk stated on Thursday. His remarks highlight his criticism of the Democratic stance, suggesting that this resistance could have profound implications for how political power is structured in the United States. The Democratic Party's primary goal is to strip American citizens of their rights by allowing the largest possible influx of illegal immigrants, he asserted. In his view, this strategy aims to shift the political balance in the country, undermining citizens' influence in the democratic system by incorporating voters who do not meet the legal requirements of citizenship. Musk, co-founder of Tesla and SpaceX, often uses his platform to express a wide range of political and social opinions. His social media interventions not only reflect his personal stance on controversial issues, but also create a significant impact on public debate, drawing both support and criticism from his followers and critics alike. Despite having voted for Joe Biden in the 2020 elections, he has openly criticized the president's immigration policy, especially concerning the US-Mexico border. Through his comments, he has voiced strong dissatisfaction with the current handling of the immigration crisis, arguing that the implemented policies have not adequately addressed border issues or improved security. However, he has also called for simplifying and expediting the legal immigration process, a goal that the president has expressed a desire to achieve. While criticizing the shortcomings of the current policy, he has emphasized the importance of reforming the system to make it more efficient and accessible for those seeking to enter the country legally, thus supporting a more balanced and humane approach to immigration. Musk's latest post seems to align more closely with the Republican Party's perspective on uncontrolled immigration, which has driven the push for the legislation voted on Wednesday. His remarks reinforce the party's focus on managing immigration and underscore the increasing influence of prominent figures in the legislative debate on how to address uncontrolled migration flows. The Equal Representation Act, as the bill is known, was introduced to make the allocation of congressional seats fairer. Essentially, it aims to balance how seats are distributed among states, fixing imbalances in representation, and ensuring that each vote has a more equitable impact, so everyone gets a fairer say in Congress. Right now, the way seats are allocated is based on counting the total population of a state, including non-citizens. This means that, in practice, the numbers used to determine congressional representation include people who aren't citizens, which can lead to imbalances in how seats are distributed. By adding citizenship status to the form, Republican legislators aim to use that data to exclude non-citizens from the population counts used to determine congressional seats. The idea is that by removing non-citizens from the equation, the seats will more accurately reflect the population eligible to vote and be represented in government. We need to stop rewarding states and cities that violate federal immigration laws and uphold sanctuary policies with more congressional representation, said House Speaker Mike Johnson. In other words, Johnson argues that these areas shouldn't get extra seats for flouting the laws, as it goes against the principle of legality and order in political representation. Common sense dictates that only U.S. citizens should be counted for seat allocation, and the Equal Representation Act ensures exactly that, he added. In other words, it's a sensible measure aimed at making electoral distribution fairer by counting only those who have the right to vote and be represented in Congress. States and cities that could be affected include New York and California, which lean Democratic, but also Republican states like Texas and Florida, with high foreign-born populations. Although the bill targets the allocation of congressional seats, Musk linked it to the ability of non-citizens to vote. Between 2018 and 2022, at least 80% of Republican voters were white, while 30 to 40% of Democratic voters were not. In 2024, the percentage of eligible Hispanic voters is expected to reach a record high, with California being home to a quarter of them, according to the Pew Research Center. The figures from the American Immigration Council show that there are about 45.2 million people who are part of the immigrant population in the U.S., approximately 13% of the total population. Of those, about 53% are eligible to vote as they are naturalized U.S. citizens, rather than alien residents, which include those in the country with work permits or illegal immigrants. The bill backed by Republicans targets non-citizens, aiming to keep them away from the polls. Essentially, they are looking to implement measures that ensure only U.S. citizens can vote, thereby preventing non-citizen residents from influencing election outcomes. Earlier this week, the Biden administration opposed the bill, arguing that it would violate the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The administration contends that the bill contradicts the principle of counting all residents in the census, which could have significant implications for political representation and the electoral system. The amendment states that the census must simply count the total number of persons in each state, regardless of status. This means that all residents, regardless of citizenship, must be included in the count to ensure fair and accurate representation in Congress, reflecting the true demographic reality of each state. The Biden-Harris administration is committed to ensuring that the census is as accurate as possible and free from political interference, said the White House statement. Claims, including those by Musk, that this law would make elections safer have been widely refuted, as many states and municipalities no longer allow non-citizens to vote. In the November elections, voters in several states will vote to amend their constitutions to allow only U.S. citizens to vote. In New York City, lawmakers are trying to open elections to some non-citizens, but the plan would only allow voting for permanent residents and some with work permits. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, share, and subscribe for more news and tips on economics and finance.